everybody, to another episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast, where we discuss and celebrate our favorites in TV and film. I'm your host, Xavier, and today I have the distinct pleasure of having the gang reunited again. Welcome back, Zach, after your little break.
Yeah, it's been a while. Have I only done one episode since my vacation?
You skipped Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you skipped that.
You skipped the holiday of Thanksgiving.
And the movie.
Don't worry, folks. He'll go back and do some homework for fun. He needs to get his leftovers on, so to speak.
Come back for seconds.
Exactly. I'm joined by the gang here. We've got Anthony, Danny, and Zach. Say hello, gentlemen.
What's up?
Hello.
Oh, okay. I thought me talking earlier was my hi.
Gentlemen.
Hello.
You guys
said gentlemen.
In case I wasn't clear the first time.
You all can't.
He's back.
Yeah, we're not on video this time, but you can't see it. But there was this really funny pause of Zach, like, "Wait, I said something already. Should I say it again?" We all looked at him and was like, "Yes, you should." So we went and got through that perfect. To err is human, to quote a line from this upcoming movie. But today we're gathered to have the whole panel together to discuss what is formally known as the final movie in the Edgar Wright's Three Cornettos trilogy, and that would be The World's End.
Yeah.
Formally known?
Formerly known as the three. No, formally, not formally, as the Three Cornettos trilogy. So Edgar Wright had made his. This is the third movie in which it's written by him, stars Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, and a lot of other recurring actors are in. And so The World's End was recommended by Zach last time. And what I found to be pretty funny is that Danny in particular, you had no idea what you were going into.
Nope. I never saw a trailer for it. Nothing. I mean, obviously, I saw 1 and 2 with you guys. But obviously, each one is a different story, different take in this franchise. But I didn't expect anything. I had no idea what I was looking at.
So without further ado, I'm actually going to throw it over to Zach since he did the recommendation. What's your overall, what would you say, overview or quick plot synopsis that you would give to somebody who's never seen this movie, or you want someone to go out of the way and watch the movie?
Ooh, all right, I'm going to try to think about this on the spot. So it's a movie about a guy who's still living in the past that he is reminded of something that him and his friends did back when they lived in their hometown. So he decides to wrangle them all up to partake in and complete said activity. But they run into
complications.
Some complications.
A snag.
A little snag. It's where their hometown is not quite what it seems and not quite what it was 20 years-ish prior to when they were there.
Yeah, pretty solid. Right off the spot. Good job, Zach. Yeah, it's about a guy named Gary King who comes back and tries to relive the glory days of his teenage years and gets his friends together to complete what's known as the Golden Mile, which is taking stops and drinks around through 12 different pubs in their town, culminating in the pub called The World's End. So in true Edgar Wright fashion, the kind of layout of the movie is kind of all done based off of the different plot points. But in this case, it's the names of the bars, but also
where they visit.
And there's so many of those intricate and fun and clever either callbacks and foreshadowing, all perfectly woven into the writing, while getting some very interesting character development. And I think more natural character development you get from people like Gary and Andy, who are played by Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, respectively. What I also really liked about this movie, I don't know if you caught on, Danny, is the sort of the archetypes are sort of reversed.
I was going to mention that too, because the first two movies, it's Simon Pegg's characters are the ones that are mature and put together.
Yeah, and Nick is always the crazy one.
Is Sean mature and put together from Shaun of the Dead?
Well, he has a job.
But he's more put together than Nick Frost character.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He
Fair point.
He has a job and everything.
Yeah, compared to the other.
But I noticed in the beginning when you see him in the office job, I was like, oh, this is different.
He's playing, it would be the kind of straight and narrow man. The guy is got his stuff together, and it's brought up a couple times in the movie too. He gets his friends together, like, hey, let's finally get through the Golden Mile, and they start realizing that, hey, something's kind of funky in the town. Is it Newton Town? No, Newton Valley.
Newton Haven.
Newton Haven.
Did you guys see this movie when it came out in theaters? In theaters?
Yes.
Anthony and I actually saw it in a special event. I'll let Anthony explain it, because this happened back in 2013.
Yes, it happened when the movie came out. I think the Regal Theater, close to where we live, the Kendall Village, they did a triple feature. So it was like this was the new movie, and it was like watch the other two beforehand. I think we started the day like at 4 or 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
And then this movie I think premiered like around 9 or 10. Because I think with every movie we had breaks, and then we would be able to go to the bathroom or get concessions. But it was super fun, and it was a great time because all 3 movies are very entertaining.
I'm surprised they did that on the release instead of it being like a special thing. The special thing they came out with like a few years later as like a.
Maybe they have, but
no, it was a special
it
because
was
of the whole idea.
Yeah, it was
of
the
the
year
release.
that it came out. Yeah.
Because of the idea of the 3 Cornettos trilogy,
Yeah.
they wanted to have a 3 Cornettos screening for all 3 movies. It's very similar to what I did back in the day in watching all of the Lord of the Rings movies back to back before the premiere of Return of the King. And fun fact, the first 2 were the extended editions.
In theaters?
In
Man.
theaters.
In theaters?
That was
Nice.
the
But
AMC Aventura before the remodel. This was back in 2003.
So was Return of the King the extended version, or was that one
No,
theatrical?
it was a theatrical because that's when it
Yeah,
first
the
came
extended
out.
didn't release
Don't give
yet.
me that look.
The extended didn't release yet.
The extended
I
never came
guess.
out. What do you mean I guess?
You can-
Time machine?
You know
What's wrong with
you
you?
can watch the extended ones in theaters now. They are constantly putting them in theaters.
Well, this year would be the 20th anniversary, so I'm hoping that
I think
mean-
they already did. I think it happened already earlier this year.
there's only a month left.
Not in December.
Be the change you want to see in the world, Zach. Come on.
Yeah, just watch it at home.
Just watch it at home.
Well, I am probably in the next 4 weeks. So I'm watching it with my mom right now.
No,
There
that's
you go.
glory. But
It's extended cut glory.
what was really cool is that in that 3 Cornetto screening, whenever they would introduce each movie, you'd have Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Edgar Wright come up on screen, and they would introduce themselves as like a mix of their names, or like someone would be the wrong name. Like Simon Pegg would come up and be like, "Hi, I'm Nick Frost," and Nick Frost is like, "I'm Simon Pegg," or no, "I'm Edgar Wright," and Edgar Wright's like, "Yeah, and I'm Simon Pegg," and they were able to they would go down each of the orders and screw it up every time until you get to the actual screening for World's End, and they would actually say their names right. Like, hey, and again, they did a heartfelt thank you that was recorded, and then that's we got to watch the movie, which initially I thought was going to be like it's sort of like an action comedy with a lot of like kind of goofiness going on, but it mixed and weaved in a lot of different things going on and a lot of different themes, I think, overall. But I'm glad that Zach got to pick this up to close out the 3 Cornettos. It's only fitted. It only makes sense. I think did we hit all 3 this year, or did we do Shaun of the Dead last year?
No, we did all 3 this
We
year.
did all
I'm
3
pretty
this
sure.
year, didn't we?
Oh, wow.
Nice.
We didn't do an episode on Shaun of the Dead, I think, but we
No.
did Hot Fuzz, and
We
we
did
did
Hot Fuzz
now
this-
doing this
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely remember not doing Shaun of the Dead as an episode. So
We just watched it on our own.
Yeah.
No, we all saw
watched
it together.
Together, because Danny had never seen it. And we're like, yeah, let's watch it.
oh yeah, we did.
But we never
I'm
did
saying
an
like we
episode
watched
on
it
it.
to not
Yeah.
for a podcast. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
but
like for
then you recommended Hot Fuzz as one of your.
I was like,
Yes.
why not? Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and.
I need another
And then you're
excuse
like,
to watch
well,
one of
you
my
know
favorite
what?
movies ever made.
Let's finish off the trilogy.
Yeah.
And thank you, because I needed to watch it, and now it forced me to watch it.
And here you go.
Yeah.
So
You're
with
welcome.
that, now that you've seen it, what were some of your favorite moments, Danny? That because all of us had seen it except you.
Yeah.
So what were some of your favorite scenes?
Well, we're gonna go into spoilers here, so if you haven't seen it,
It is. And to be fair, it is a 10-year-old movie. But
I know,
if you
but
haven't seen it yet,
like me,
Spoiler
I hadn't
podcast.
seen it. I did not expect this whole alien plot. Even
yeah, like Invasion of the Body
Yeah.
Snatchers thing. And we were watching. I was like, oh, this is cool. Because we would see trailers, and you see the weird people with the eyes. Like, man, some weird stuff going on.
they showed that in the trailer.
Kind of, yeah. And then it was they just had shells of themselves
Yeah.
when they actually fought, and it made for all the really cool action sequences, and then like when we saw like some of the stuff going on, like Anthony and I were like, oh, this is awesome. Like it was the conceit and helped them let them do some over the top, but also really creative fight choreography.
Like throughout the movie, like in the first third, I guess, when they were explaining like the plot, like get the friends back together, go bar hopping, go try to finish that, the 12 pubs. I was like, oh, okay, this will be pretty interesting, because each pub maybe will have like a different story or like some background or whatever. But then you had the bathroom scene. I think that's when the first.
That was with the fourth bar or fifth bar.
Somewhere around there.
That's like the fourth.
Wasn't that the third
It was
one?
like the third.
No, it wasn't the third one.
It was pretty early.
The cross hands?
It was early.
The cross
I think
hands.
it was probably at least the
I think it's the
fourth.
third one.
But when that happened, I was like, oh, it's probably just like some.
Oh no, because the third one, the sister comes into the bar.
No, that's the Old Familiar. That's the second
that's
one.
it? Oh, okay, never mind.
I
don't know the names of all
I
these.
rewatched this and I have a list of the pubs.
Just to be fair, Zach joined us like halfway through the movie.
Well, I watched
the rewatch.
Yeah, because
Like,
I watched it the other night since I was like
I
not
watched
doing
it.
anything else.
I watched it the night before.
I think I watched The Hobbit 1 with my mom, and I was like, you know what, I'll just jump straight into
oh my god.
into this one. So
That's
that's
homework.
exactly what
Yeah.
I did.
But yeah, Danny had just seen this right now for the first time, probably about 2.5 hours before we recorded this. So it's pretty fresh in the brain.
But yeah, so when they're in the bathroom scene, I was like, oh, this guy's kind of weird. And then he just like tackles him into the urinal, and I was like, what?
He like grabs him by the chest.
Yeah.
And, like slams him.
There's a whole bunch of like
Throws him into the
wrestling
hair.
moves,
Yeah.
like that. There are a lot of wrestling moves that happen. Like I remember thinking there's like this some like luchador stuff going on.
But then as the movie progressed, like all these different fight sequences, I was telling X and Anthony, like fight sequences were really good in this movie.
Yeah.
They were pretty fun and like pretty creative.
Wacky
Especially since it's like, not like a real person. You could do like fake,
Like weird robots.
splatter and blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're kind of like fluids inside, and the color
Like
blue is very
remove the
Yeah.
arms and legs.
Use them as
Put the
weapons?
legs on the arms. Like what? Like with the twins.
Yes.
Take your legs off her.
That line.
A lot of the writing is so good.
It's still good.
They
yeah,
have like
it's
all their like funny like one-liners and like
Oh yeah.
running jokes.
Oh, that's
Even
cool.
from like the first and second movie, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool to see.
such as.
Well, like the fence, the
Yeah,
shortcut,
the gags.
Callbacks.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
callbacks to a lot of these.
the Cornetto
There's a
rapper
Cornetto
at
rapper
the
that
end,
shows up towards the end. That was really funny.
and like you were mentioning earlier, like the bars that their names have like significance, kind of like in the first one, Shaun of the Dead. They kind of have that.
Yeah. No, thanks to an old like 10-year-old kind of listing from Reddit. These folks did a really great job of being able to kind of post it up in place. Like, so like each one,
Yeah,
like
go
if
through
you look at the map of each name is like the first, basically the one pub is called the first post, so that's like restart.
Yeah.
You've got the Old Familiar. That's where
That was one of my
Sam comes
favorite.
up.
That was one of my favorite gags. You walk in, it's a copy.
The
and
same one.
paste. and everyone else is like, oh, it's like this. It's like the last bar.
Danny noticed it.
I was like,
it's the same
the
shot.
same shot, the same scene. I was like, are they gonna do all the bars like this?
It's like yes, but no, and then like as things get a little weirder is when it's like almost too rigid. It's almost
Yeah.
too much to say. That's the whole idea.
And then that's why it's called the Old Familiar.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so good.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things too. Like it's Old Familiar because it's the same as the other one, or like that's the one everyone goes to. But that's also where you meet, Rosamund Pike's character. That's like like it's an old friend and crush or whatever. And then it looks so much like the first post. You're like, wait, what?
Where does Basil show up? Was it the first or was it the second?
I like his bendy straw.
I thought it was.
No.
Or-
Okay, you know what? It was the Old Familiar because they got kicked out of the second bar before they met the sister.
Yeah, they got kicked out of the Old Familiar back
That was
there
the
to
second
finish drink. Yeah.
Yeah, they were only there for like a couple minutes, and
I
then
don't
the
even
third
think
bar
they
was
had a-
when they were going to
had a
the sister.
drink.
No. The third bar is the one he gets kicked out of because that's the famous cock. Because he got kicked out in his teenage years, and then he got kicked out again.
Yes.
Well, no, because he was banned. So like
He was banned.
Or he
Yeah.
was barred.
Oh yeah, he was
Bard.
bought because we're British. It's bought. Yeah.
Hey,
And
you're
then-
Gary King. You're
But he-
barred from this
Bought from this
bar.
bar.
But he got the drinks that were outside. So
Yeah, he
like,
still got the
still
side
got it.
counted.
I'm so confused with now what
Yeah.
these bars are in.
So then the next bar was the cross hands. That's where they first got into the fight. They ran into the blanks and they figured out everything. Holy crap. And what's really funny is the logo, the person wrote it down, the logo has 5 hands and there were 5 teenagers. And they were originally a group of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good companion.
Musketeers.
Yep. The good companion. Everybody wants to stick to Gary's plan. You know, like, hey, we're going to help out with it. So the trusty servant, that's Reverend Green. I think that's Pierce Brosnan's character.
No, the drug
that's
dealer.
The Reverend Green, yeah. He's that guy like, hey, like, dudes are weird about it. And then that's the whole...
Where he tries to like ask him about it and like, oh, what's going on?
And he gets
Yeah.
in trouble.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the 2-headed dog. That's when the twins attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sam, Steve, and Gary.
That makes sense.
The mermaid, that's where the girls basically are trying to, like, you know, take
Seduce them.
That's
them
the
to-
club. Like
yeah.
that club bar.
the
Instead
club bar. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
supposed to be basically like Greek sirens. They do the whole, like, you know,
Yeah.
mermaids, like, hey, we're going to bring you in and then kill you. The beehive, for basically kicking the hornet's nest. What I thought was really funny is that they get to the king's head and the picture of like the king they use, the face kind of looks like Simon Pegg, so it's just Gary King, King's head. Hole in the wall is when Steven drove the car in. That's just bro doing like this is stupid but hilarious. And then obviously the world's end is, you know, the world's end.
Yeah.
But every ending has a beginning.
What a solid list.
Yeah, what a solid list. No, there's so many fun little like foreshadowings. So again, spoiler alert, Oliver, that's played by
Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman.
Oh man.
Yeah, and Peter. So Oliver and Peter, where they end up got like everybody likes to say,
They
by the
didn't make
blanks,
it.
is the same places where when they were younger, when they stopped the bar crawl.
Interesting.
Exactly the same spots.
Oh.
Nice.
I'm just giving you the what? Yeah, that's why like rewatching this.
I love
again,
these things.
Like
in,
rewatching
like,
the
these
movie, I was like,
movies.
oh yeah, like
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright is such
Edgar
a
Wrightisms in such a great man.
But it makes you want to like see the movie again so you could catch those things.
yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
Like, it gives you a purpose to watch it
Kind
again.
of go home and watch it again.
Yeah.
Maybe not tonight. Like
Yeah.
tomorrow if I wanted to.
Yep. No, it's
But
pretty.
That's good. That's pretty cool.
It was really cool. It's just like that way when 2 musketeers died, we still have 3 left, and it's like, oh wait, ended up just 3 of them. So it's clever, like in that kind of manner. I think like initially when the movie came out, people were kind of like taken aback by the ending. It's just like, yeah, they were willing to go there, but then you kind of see the overall. It's like It's like Gary King's like the character arc that Gary King had. How he's just like so hell bent on doing this pub crawl, even as the whole world is like completely fighting him against it. Like he's just like, I'm gonna barrel on through because that's all he's got, and you get to see more revelations from the different characters. So I thought that was really like more and more I watch it again, the more I guess I kind of sympathize with Gary King, and maybe like because now I'm older, I kind of like I can see where he's coming from, even though maybe pretty misguided. But I think it's I think it's a cool. I think it gets better. I think with age. I think this movie particularly. I don't know how you feel about Anthony. I remember we watched it the first time. We're like, oh, it's all right. Like again, we thought it was different than what we expected, but
I actually liked it a bit more this time, just rewatching it, than the first time. It could have been because when we watched it, I was maybe tired from being in the theater for like 4 or 5 hours. But I remember the beginning of the movie being pretty long and boring before.
it's all set up. Yeah.
But watching it now with Danny, we
It
paused it a
flew
few times.
by.
We paused it a few times, but the beginning actually flew by. Where when we paused it, we were both sure that we had only watched maybe like 30 minutes of the movie, and we looked at the time and it was an hour into the movie. We're like, oh wow, we didn't even realize that we watched a little bit more than half the movie. So I don't know why it felt different to me this time, but it didn't seem as boring or as just like plodding along in the first half. But I think I had more fun with it. Maybe I was just paying attention to more of it. But overall, I liked it.
He's like,
He's like,
I actually liked it.
Yeah,
You're
because
like,
before I was like, we had just watched the other two, and I still think the other two are better movies. But it was kind of like, I don't know how to compare it because this movie is just not as good as the other two. So it's like watching all three together. It's just like, well, this one's okay. It's like
similar. But
I feel like at that point
whatever.
we're just sick of being in like watching three.
no, because like I had a good time watching all three, but it was just like clear that the other two were better. It was just like like.
And
it's
you got
hard to beat Hot Fuzz, and Shaun of the Dead is like super close.
And you got such a wide range. Like you got horror in the first one. You got like, let's say like action in the second one, and sci-fi on this one.
Yeah, well, this one's like like the Hot Fuzz is like that like buddy cop drama, and then
like
balls to the wall
mystery,
action at the end, and then this one's like
sci-fi.
it's a sci-fi like action.
I mean, they all have
comedy.
action, but like
that. It's like a little bit of sci-fi, but also like a little bit of drama in it because like
they do build some stuff up in the story.
A lot of stuff that happened with Gary.
It's a bro movie.
Yeah.
It's
Sci-fi bro movie.
like it's.
I mean, they're all bro movies.
They're all bro movies.
Yeah, true.
Like I think a lot of the main focus is on just like the stuff that like what you hold on to from when you're younger, like trying to recapture some of that, or then how do you just move on from it, or how do you use that to like help kind of give you sort of a semblance or not foundation, but like how that influences who you become as a person, or how you carry that with you, whether it's you carry it with a chip on your shoulder or you grow and learn from it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like with friendship, it's like a friendship with regrets, like living with regrets, and how to overcome that, how it's never too late to do it. Like there are a lot of these like pretty deep themes, but I remember watching initially, I was just getting really taken aback about like, are they just gonna let like the human race just off to themselves? Like they're not gonna like find a compromise, they're not gonna like beat them. It's like, no, they're just deuces, we're done. It's like as I'm now older, I'm like, I get it. Like I understand the choice to write it in that way, where like that whole network's like, nah, we're done. Y'all are insane. Like
I like that.
It's like you convinced me. You guys suck.
yeah. It's like humanity is garbage. It's like you're literally the worst. He's like, yeah, if you want to be the worst, fine. But like at the same time, like Anthony would point out, it's just like that Andy is like luring them. It's like, wait, so you're here not to invade us, but how many people have you taken? Like, that's not important. It's like,
it's
are you?
irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. Like, are you sure?
Because they like
What
probably
happens? What happens?
copied and killed a bunch of
Yeah,
people.
it's like what happens to the people that you turn into these blank things? Like, oh, they recycle. It's like, oh, so they turn into mulch and fertilizer. Like, yeah, well, you put it that way. And like they're like kind of haggling, but they're kind of like scolding this like intergalactic network of AI or like some type of consciousness or whatever.
A supposed advanced race, but they're like
But they're
they
still
not.
don't really see how their ways are also wrong.
Yeah. So it's like, damn.
It's a fair argument.
It is.
It's a fair argument between the two. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why like, even they're like, we can't argue with you. You're drunk. I'm like, are you sure? They're making pretty solid points right now. Like you're ruining people's free will and all that. It was really fun to see that. But and it was cool that that you had the three friends in the end be able to go ahead and and kind of like they all kind of show up for each other at the end, and then they're also like back. It's why when everybody was kind of criticizing Gary from all the stuff that he was doing, it was actually like, hey, you know what? We're gonna back you up in the end. Like that I don't know, that was pretty cool. Like that was a good like test of the bros are going over for like they can overcome almost anything, if that makes any sense. Like Steven comes down, they're like, yeah, we got it. And so it's cool. It was it's like Anthony said, like I think over time going back and watching it again, it's actually pretty good. Like it's better than what we initially thought it was.
Yeah, I think I started off by it being my least favorite of the trilogy,
But now it's
and then
least
slowly
favorite,
it's
but not by so much of a wide margin, right?
well, I would say it's tied for second with Shaun of the Dead. Like it's gotten up there.
Man, that's
Really?
that's a take.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Because I really enjoyed watching it again the other night. I'm like, man, like why did I think this movie wasn't like up to par with the other two?
Yeah,
I mean, Hot Fuzz, of course, is still number one for me. That's hands down. I give that one a 10 when we reviewed it.
he's right. The movie is incredible.
And I think we did talk about Shaun of the Dead, but I would give Shaun of the Dead a 9.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into our ratings, of course, later on. But like, that's kind of where I put at least the first two.
Yeah. And again, like since it's the whole three Cornetto's trilogy, there's always something going on. Like there's always like we talked about the callbacks, like with the fence gags, and I remember seeing that in like the TV trailers, the TV spots. So I was like, oh, there's a fence gag in this one too. Like it's so like like you've seen this movie.
Well, this one had like 4 of them.
A few of them.
Yeah, there's jumping over metal stuff.
They had
there's
2 back to
hedges.
back right there.
Yeah, literally.
At the
And then
end.
the big end, like where he falls on the
Oh yes,
on the fence.
exactly. Yeah, he followed on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was one of those back to back. He knocked over the fence, and then like in the very next shot, 2 seconds later, he's jumping over a small like metal thing
Yeah.
that I guess you can call a little fence or like a
Another little
divider.
like not Easter egg, but if you're paying attention, is everybody who ends up being either ends up being a blank or is a blank is wearing blue.
Mm-hmm.
So like I remember watching it, I was like, hey Anthony, you see the like Peter's bully where he's like, hey Peter, I'm so sorry.
He's
Like,
wearing a blue.
yeah, he had a
plaid.
blue like plaid like blazer
Yeah.
and turtleneck. Like that's a blank. Like if you notice it, like it's all there. And even like Peter and Oliver, like they were wearing blue before they got.
Mm.
So it's just like,
That
oh,
was foreshadowing.
yeah, it's all foreshadowing. It's all in there. Like again, like it's just those fun things where you weave it into the storytelling, and like if it's it's not so much that it's telegraphed, the fact that it's still like it's there, and then like the way the movie ends in the very end is like
At the world's end.
at the world's end. At the world's end of the end
It's
of
a
the
different movie.
The with Bill Nye, who is still like the credit in this movie as a voice, but
How's the hand?
still a bit stiff. The when Gary comes in with the other like mini versions of the robots of the blanks of like his friends as they were kids, he walks in there and you can tell like he finally overcame like his addiction because he's like, I want 5 waters.
Yeah.
But also, I remember earlier in the movie, Andy said,
Oh, I didn't
Go-
pick that up.
walking into a bar full of burly men and ordering a water takes courage, and then that's what Gary does at the end.
Because at first, like, because I didn't think about that. I thought the whole reason why he ordered water was because maybe beer was just hard to come by, so water was the only thing that they could get. But that makes a lot more sense.
Well, water would probably be hard to get too.
Yeah, but at the same time, you could
Well, with
ferment
water,
and make stuff with beer. Yeah,
Probably. Because with water, you can boil it, filter it.
Stick it in his too.
it's like
Almost.
it's like maybe.
Not mash it though.
Yeah, you
But
can.
what I really liked in, it's a subtle, but I like the CGI in this movie because a lot of the blanks, the robots, whatever you want to call them, obviously when they're getting decapitated or their arms or legs cut off or being split in half, they kind of look like
good.
Legos, but like it looks good when they get smashed or the blue ink comes out everywhere because I'm sure all that blue liquid or the majority of it was CGI. But I thought the effects looked pretty good and they weren't really overused. And the few times that, like when they broke off half of Martin Freeman's head, but he was still like talking, so like that was obviously some form of CGI and probably motion capture.
Well, they probably had him wear like a blue screen,
Yeah,
like kind of thing
yeah,
over
he probably
his
was wearing
head.
something over his head.
So that this
And then
part
at least
could
get
be-
that, yeah.
But it still looked good. And even like with a lot of the fight scenes, the camera's constantly moving just to show what all the characters are doing and all the different moves that they're doing. And it's like, but while they're fighting, they're obviously fighting people like actors in real life. But then there's also blood in quotes, the blue stuff going around everywhere and all the pieces of the body parts. So it's like a lot of CGI intermixed with the live action. So I'm sure those fight scenes were actually more complicated than they should have been in post production. But yeah, I thought those scenes were cool.
That initial bathroom fight kind of reminded me of what's the movie? Kingsman. No, Kingsman.
Oh, I was gonna say
Like-
Fallout.
Like the church scene.
Matthew
in
Vaughn,
Kingsman.
that church scene is
Oh
That's a
man,
brutal
Legendary.
church. It's so good.
They're playing Freebird.
yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, those movies came out. Oh no, never mind.
No.
They came out.
This
a year
came out
apart.
2013. When did Kingsman come out?
I think 2014.
No way.
Or maybe 2015.
There's no way. Hold up.
No
I
way.
think they're like
No
a year
way.
apart.
To the internet.
Really?
When year?
2014.
Damn,
Yeah.
why didn't
The
we
boy
realize
got
Kingsman?
it?
Yeah.
Kingsman
The
was that
boy
long?
got it for once.
I know. Forgot it for once. I get it most of the time.
Whoa, okay,
That's
buddy.
personal.
And I took that personally.
And then Golden Circle was in 2017. That's around the time Pedro Pascal was just starting to pop up.
And then The King's Man was 2021.
That was
Yeah, this
2021.
was
Yeah.
years ago. But yeah, that scene reminded me of that a little bit because it was the way the camera was moving, and there were some parts where it seemed like almost one take, but not really.
I mean, it was in the movie, but they're all simulated, like
Yeah.
one takes. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's secret stitches and cuts that they do, but it looks cool. Then
And Edgar Wright's really good at that. And I think like he got some of that fight choreography experience and sort of like how to direct that kind of stuff from Scott Pilgrim, because that came out in 2010, so about 3 years earlier. So it's cool to, again, like you see more of how this stuff kind of like comes together and able to kind of, you see a director's work, how it keeps, how it kind of adds upon itself in a really cool and unique way. I don't know, it's really, really cool.
Another, I guess you would call it Edgar Wright-ism, because a lot of his movies are very fast cut, a lot of editing. And throughout, I think more so in the beginning, but throughout the movie, I noticed that this movie had a lot of like swipes, like edit swipes. But the way a lot of the scenes were being swiped was a person like walking by the screen, and then it was swiped to the next scene, and it happened a lot, I think, near the beginning. And now that I rewatch it and think about it, I think it's supposed to like simulate that, like it's like the blanks are like always watching them, so it's like they're kind of like in front of the camera, like watching the characters, and so it's like, but then like they would like walk by the camera and then we'll go to another scene. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's just
That's why it's art, Anthony. You're able to do.
That's just my analysis, guys. Jeez,
interpret it however you want.
get off my
Yeah,
back,
my
bro.
interpretation.
But it was fun. I was like, why are there so many swipes? Like, there's so many of them, and it's just like it's always like a person's arm like to the side of the screen, like as it's swiping. So it's always making it seem like someone's walking by.
Damn swiper, no swiping.
Oh man!
And then the thing was, just in case we didn't mention it, but how later on the robots would quote something that they had said prior,
Earlier in the movie,
or like that they had mentioned between each other or whatever.
Yeah, it's because
I thought that was a cool,
memory. Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay.
it was like they were learning from whatever the blanks from the first couple of pubs were there. Because at first, those few pubs, they didn't really say anything to them.
Yeah.
And I guess they were listening.
Or I think one of them was like, fine ales with like this and that and like a hint of whatever.
And that's what you said in the first one, right?
Yeah, and then
that was in the first pub, and then they get to like the
somewhere later on,
like
and
the third,
It's like-
fourth, or fifth.
Yeah, like
pub
the trusty
or something.
servant or something. It's just like, wait,
or
what? Like,
or the
He's like, yeah.
the bully that he's like, oh, he didn't even remember me, and then this time he's like, oh,
yeah, he's just like, look, I'm so sorry. It's like, yeah, he didn't even remember me. Yeah, Peter was like waiting to just like lay on him and be like, yeah, this guy sucks and whatever. But like, nope. He's like kind of like, yeah, it's too good. Like,
Actually, well, speaking of that scene too, because that was kind of like the whole like how they discover everything, where it's like, oh, the reason why no one remembers them is because they've all been replaced.
yeah,
They don't have those memories.
they don't have the memories of exactly them when they were, because younger. It was more of the. It's like, oh, it's not like if we're nobodies and they don't remember us. Like, they literally don't, because the memories they took of them is only those selections. Like,
Although, like the bully didn't recognize the guy, and
Yeah.
who else didn't recognize him? I think it was
It was like the guy at the first pub, like the first
Like-
bartender at the first pub.
it was like the same guy that had worked there, like from 20 years before.
But then at the second one, where the guy's saying, "Oh, you're Gary King. Oh, you're Bard," he remembers him. But unless that was like a little
Fake out.
oversight,
or they didn't replace him yet.
or maybe they didn't replace him yet.
Nope.
Nothing seemed off about him, but every other character seemed to not remember any of them. And then that's when they had that revelation of, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense, because it wasn't them. It's not the original.
It's not the originals doing
people.
it. Yeah. Like I said from the beginning, it's this cool, interesting like invasion of the body snatchers kind of situation, but just tying into this whole other like friend's quest to reach the end of the bar crawl. and hilarity and shocking revelations ensue. Anyhow, but yeah, movie is like I said, I mentioned it before. Anthony's mentioned before. Like it's better over time now that we see it. So hopefully, we grow to be a little kinder to this movie, kind of like how people have kind of grown on the Star Wars prequels and stuff like that, like with fonder, rosier tinted, eyes. But this one, no, this World's End, I think, really has some strong merits in terms of like the clever writing and actually like the way that Simon Pegg
I think it's pretty
Nick Frost
good.
can act.
Yeah, man. Yeah, seeing Nick Frost doing like the more serious show, I was like, oh, he's doing a pretty good job, and his voice is lowered. I mean, by the end, he's not like as serious because I guess he's really drunk and he
had all the shots.
Yeah, and he starts going crazy, just like he turns into like a kung fu master.
Dude, every time he took one of those 5 shots, it was always like a like a weird like grunt, not grunt, but he would always make like
a weird sound.
Kind of sound.
I just love when at one point he's just like, I hate this town, and he just grabs the 2 chairs, and then he just like turns into like a freaking
just freaking
like a
human
superhero.
weapon.
Yeah,
He created distance. He grabbed a chair.
exactly.
I think that was
Ryan.
the bar with Pierce Brosnan. Where
Beehive?
When they were like trying to essentially like assimilate them, and he's like,
Beehive.
like the first scene that we get with him and he explains
yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
That was when he picks up the chairs and
Yeah,
starts.
it's like it becomes like a human robot of destruction.
Yeah, that big fight there too.
Again, very clever fight sequences.
yeah,
Really
like,
nice
and I
stuff.
liked that one scene where Simon Pegg was still trying to like have his drink while avoiding
Fighting.
and punching. What was that? There's like one cool scene. We both laughed at it because it was just like fun choreography. It was like he kept trying to sip, and then he was moving out of the way, and then he punched one of them, and then like another guy punched him back, and then like the sip he just took, he had to like
he had to
spray it out of his
and
mouth.
then go grab
It was like-
another.
But it was
pint
a cool like little one shot. There was like 3 different people
that was the
attacking
one
him.
with Pierce. That was the Pierce Brosnan
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it was that same one because he just wants to get a drink.
Yeah, it's like I just want my
He
drink.
wants to go through the bars as quick as he can.
Come on, man. Like no fuss, no muss. Like just get in there, but
No fuzz.
No fuzz.
Right. So speaking of, I guess since we finally have, we've all collectively seen all 3 of these movies. Let's go with a very quick trilogy ranking for the 3 Cornettos. Obviously, we already know Zach's.
Do we?
He just said Hot Fuzz is tops.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you said the other 2 were tied.
Yeah, it's like I mean, it depends on what I'm feeling because there's some aspects of Shaun of the Dead where I'm like. Because there's some scenes that I feel like could have been maybe a little bit faster paced, or maybe they could have taken out some of the fluff, but also it was still it had like it's the first movie. It has a lot of like the classic Edgar Wright kind of writing and editing and stuff like that. But then with this one, it's like I said before, like my appreciation for it has gone up to the point where it's like on par with it. Oh god, ranking number 2 and number 3 is gonna be tough, man.
He's like 2 and 3. I don't know what to do.
It's not that tough.
It really isn't that tough.
I mean, I'm still gonna have to go with Shaun of the Dead
Well, obviously.
as number 2.
Okay, cool.
X.
And then,
Yeah, so for different reasons, but I won't really go too far into it. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's still Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and World's End. But I used to say that the World's End, it's like World's End was a bit far ways between that Shaun of the Dead, and now I think it's significantly closer. So at that point, I'm like, yeah, I think this is better. Like this is like it's much. Yeah, the gap is significantly shorter. Like
Gotcha.
so, it's still like they're still really good as a full like trilogy. So for sure.
Anthony.
I agree with Xavier. Hot Fuzz is too good. I still think there's like a pretty good margin between Shaun of the Dead and this movie, but yeah, because it was like it went from I think I don't really like this movie to okay, like I enjoyed it this time.
You
around.
like it?
Yeah, I liked it. It was good, but no, it was entertaining. Like I even think I laughed more watching it this time around. Maybe I just shouldn't watch the 3 together. I don't know what. Like I think that's just what it was.
Maybe you should watch it in the order from third to first,
or just watch it. Yeah, I think just watching it separately because I mean we saw.
I mean, it
3
doesn't matter what
at
order
some
you watch
point
it in.
this year, but just not watching them together, I guess it's just it's on its own, and I had a better time this time around. So all three are good to amazing, but yeah, this one's third. Shaun of the Dead second, Hot Fuzz first.
Now, before Danny gets into it, are we doing like a number rating also, or
No, we
until
can
after
just
he
rate
says
it.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3.
no,
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like ranking for this
no.
movie?
like
No.
out of 10? Yeah,
I'm
This
gonna
movie.
do that.
yeah.
No.
This one out of 10. Not all of them out of 10. Like this one out
Well,
of
we
10.
already ranked.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
just rate
Don't
in
need
the
that.
trilogy. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because I already had a number. But
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. No,
What was your number?
It was
I'm assuming it's a
8.5.
9 because you
8.5.
said it was tied with Shaun of the Dead.
I'm still giving it an 8.5.
So it's not tied.
It was. It's almost tied.
Okay.
Almost
Exactly.
tied.
Oh.
Almost tied. I did say it was almost tied. So mine would have been an 8.5. But yeah.
Well, I think we did Hot Fuzz score, but
Did we all give it a 10 or what did we do?
I gave
I
it
don't
a 10.
remember.
I'm
But
pretty sure you guys.
I know in the Hot Fuzz
Probably.
episode,
This guy gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7.
Yeah, I think you gave it a 7.
Hot Fuzz?
I think I maybe gave it an 8.
I don't
7 or
I don't
8.
know. 7 or 8. It was
We have to go
you
back.
gave it an IGN 7 or 8.
Oh.
Oh.
So-
soft or hard?
So I remember, I do remember that I rated it Shaun of the Dead and then Hot Fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see them both again.
Really? Okay.
They're close.
Let's watch all three together.
They-
And then you may not like this one as much.
That's why I'm laughing.
But I'm gonna do the order Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and then this one.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are closer together than this one is. Although I did enjoy this one.
Good. Yeah.
But I want to rewatch Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz again. Just to
Me too.
just to
watch it.
get a
Hot Fuzz first.
because you guys have seen it more than once.
Ended on a good note.
All of you guys
Oh,
have,
yeah. I've seen it.
all of you guys have seen
Way
them
more than
more
once.
than
I've seen
once.
Hot Fuzz so many times.
So I'd be down to see it again and
It's
just
so good.
kind of
Movies too.
picked up more stuff that I've missed, and
Oh yeah. No. Makes
But-
total sense.
the first two are pretty high up, and then this one's kind of just a little bit up.
Okay. The way the world's end with not as much of a whimper as I thought. Yeah, we'd get. So
It was definitely like the most outlier.
yeah, like
Would it be the most? I mean,
I
Shaun
don't,
of
know
the
if
Dead
I
is
don't think it's so
also-
much like an outlier. It's just I just think it's like again like
It's just the other two are so
subverted-
good.
it challenged a lot of people's initial expectations, and that's what happened a lot. I think when it first came out in theaters, that people were like, the movie's it's doing a lot of things, but I think it was more complex than what people were initially giving it out, because they were still on like the big like cult class, end up being a cult classic like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, and then these kind of movies had this certain tone, and this one was like it had different tones that was able to. I think Edgar Wright was able to balance well in this movie. Now having seen it, a couple years apart.
I think it's pretty cool though that you have the same actors like doing just totally different characters.
Yeah, I love again like he has
And, like-
the recurring people like Bill Nighy's in all three movies somehow. You have like Patty Considine
Martin
and
Freeman is in all of them.
Martin Freeman,
Yeah.
Andes, man.
the Andes, and Rafe Spall.
Walter Frey.
and just each one is a different.
Forgot his name.
It's practically a different movie for anyone. Like
Yeah,
even
like,
if you
it's-
don't like one of them, like there's
You're
gonna
gonna
be one of the three that you're gonna really like.
Yeah, there's
So-
always going to be like at least one that you'll love for sure, and I think it's worth it. Like if you like one of them, you owe it to yourself to watch the other two.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get the whole idea. Get the 3 Flavours Cornetto. Very cool. All right, so
what flavor was the first one? Chocolate or?
I know that this one was mint chocolate.
Yeah.
Um,
The second one was vanilla.
was it vanilla? Yeah.
Yeah, because they go into the little shop and they get vanilla cornettos. I forgot what the first one was. I don't know if it was like strawberry or like some other flavor. It wasn't chocolate because now that it's
Yeah.
Well, not
It's-
everyone
it's,
likes
it's
mint
the
chocolate.
blue one. No, it's strawberry.
it is strawberry. okay.
Strawberry and Shaun of the Dead, and the blue one I think is like the chocolate one.
Where was the strawberry?
Yeah, it's blue chocolate. Strawberry Shaun of the Dead.
No, I know, but
where?
like when did they
Strawberry, like you've got red on you.
Yeah, exactly, because of the gory and blood and everything. Yeah.
Oh, does he buy one when he goes into the
shop.
convenience store?
Yeah, the convenience store.
Yeah.
The first time or the second time or both?
Yeah, the one where the guy, the first one where like that after the guy slips and it's like the zombie's still there. Yeah.
So in
So the second time.
in Shaun of
Yeah.
the not Shaun of the in Hot Fuzz, what flavor
Vanilla.
did they
It's
eat?
blue chocolate.
Blue chocolate.
It's
So
the,
blue
the,
as in
the
like
rapper's
as in
blue
cops?
as the cops. Yes.
No, but the flavor is vanilla.
No, I believe it's blue chocolate. I'm looking at it right
It's
now.
vanilla.
So then, what would have been the flavor for this one?
Because there's a scene
Mint
where
chocolate.
This is
So
a scene
what
where
color?
We're in the car and
Like
he eats
green?
the
Green.
So why didn't they make the
Green
like
face, yeah.
the blood of these things green then?
Hot Fuzz was a vanilla cone with a blue.
Yeah, vanilla.
With a blue one. Why am I reading blue chocolate?
And the first one was a strawberry,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then this one was mint chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too good.
Yeah, because there's the scene where they buy it and they're eating it in the car and it's just vanilla.
Yeah, it's the two
It probably has vanilla
flavors.
with like the chocolate fudge.
No, there's like a vanilla and chocolate in there. If you look at the wrapper,
Yeah.
like it's actually like
I'm not a rapper.
there's the chocolate
Yeah, it's got,
and
like,
there's
the chocolate
vanilla.
fudge,
Look,
yeah.
because it's a swirl mix. Yeah, it's too good. Yeah, and green is
It's like those
green.
cup ones that you
Green with
buy in
aliens
like a
and
pack
stuff.
of 20 and it's like it's got the vanilla and then like the X of the fudge. It's kind
Correct.
of like that.
Whatever. Now I want to eat ice cream. Thanks, Zach. Jeez. Anyway,
I've got ice cream at home.
yeah. Before
Now I want to get in a bar fight.
before we sign off,
The
we are
Golden
gonna
Mile,
go
baby.
into we're gonna actually swing it back over to Anthony for next week's recommendation, sir.
Oh
Putting you on the spot.
Do it.
What do we got?
So next week, since we are going into December, the Christmas season,
Oh.
I'm going to. I don't know. This is obviously debatable with what is considered a Christmas movie, but it's not what you think.
Oh.
I'm just saying, like, there's people that think Christmas movies are either anything that has to do with Christmas is a movie, therefore
if
it's
it's set
Christmas,
in Christmas.
or if it's actually like Christmas is a big part of the movie and it's legit a Christmas movie, like The Santa Claus. That would be a Christmas movie because
Let's do a
it's
Santa.
about Santa. So this one has Christmas in it, and it takes place around Christmas, but I wouldn't consider it a Christmas movie. But that's just me. And also, we haven't done a movie of this actor yet, so I'm picking one. Hook with Robin Williams.
Oh
Yes.
my
Interesting.
God, you're the best! I freaking love this movie.
Wait, I thought we did
I don't think we've done any
We've not
Robin
had-
Williams movies.
Robin Williams movies? No, I don't. believe
I thought we did Good Will
Jumanji.
Hunting.
No,
No, we haven't.
did not. We have not.
We should
done
do that
Good
movie
Hunting.
too.
I thought someone picked it.
No, so we may have been mentioned it. in
We've
passing.
seen it.
How do you like them apples?
I knew I watched it, but I thought it was because we had talked about it.
No.
No, I think you were just going down your list.
Interesting.
Hook. Oh, I get
So-
to talk about one of my favorite scenes of all time.
Oh, okay. Spoilers.
I've seen it as a kid, but I remember
You gotta
nothing.
rewatch
Nothing
it.
about it. Good. So
You gotta rewatch
it's
it.
on
There's a
Disney
lot of-
Plus,
I've never
guys.
seen anything.
Wait,
It's
Hook
on
is on Disney Plus?
The only thing I know
it should
about
be.
it
No,
is,
it is
of
not.
course, that
But
has
it's on
Robin Williams
Netflix?
and
I think
Dante
it is on
Basco.
Disney Plus.
It's on Netflix.
Really? Okay, it's somewhere.
I'm gonna learn you today.
It is on Netflix.
Alright.
Yep.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Man, and
Bless-
John Williams. Anyway, yes. So stay tuned for next week's episode. We're gonna dive into Neverland, especially as adults, since we're all adults right now, and we get to see a Steven Spielberg classic. You know,
Nice.
we'll get some fun facts on it. Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Julia Roberts,
Bless you.
Dante Basco.
I think this might be the first live
He's by
action
far
thing.
the most notable actor in this movie. So.
Not Robin Williams, sure.
No, it's Dante
It's
Basco.
Dante Basco. Okay, sure
I
thing.
think this might be the first movie I've seen him do live action. I've never seen him in anything
He's in
else.
some
have.
other
He
random
was in
stuff.
Okay, actually no. The only other live action thing I saw him in was there was a special of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody where they go to Hollywood.
Is he in the show?
Yes, he's in that special.
He's in that special where they go to Hollywood and
The one other movie that I remember him in is the dance movie he was in with Antonio Banderas.
Oh man,
I'm trying to look up the name for
the
it.
kid
right
who
now.
played Jack. I remember where that kid was from. That dude is from Dick Tracy. Anyway, we'll talk more about that next time because that's another random movie I think only Anthony has seen in this
What,
in
Hook?
this group.
You
no,
guys
Dick
haven't
Tracy.
seen? Oh, yeah, I've seen Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy.
no, I mean I haven't seen Hook.
Oh,
We talked
we're gonna have fun with this.
So
Anyway,
two out of us.
Well,
He hasn't seen it.
Danny
I
said
saw when he was younger.
but
I saw it as a
doesn't
You don't
But-
remember.
remember that? That was fun.
Yes,
but
sir.
yeah, so can't wait. I'd love to talk about this movie. There's a lot of really good stuff, a lot of classics, a lot of great actors and actresses in this film, and the score is one of, I think, John Williams' underappreciated scores. Not a lot of people reference it a lot, but we'll get to that next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I had a lot of fun closing out the Three Cornettos trilogy with you guys. If you enjoyed this episode as well, please give us a like and subscribe on your podcast platform of choice, as well as check out our 6 movies that describe ourselves that we had posted up on our socials just recently now. They're only going to be here for a little while, but reminds me, Danny, save a post on that within the watch list.
have a highlight.
Yeah, save it as a highlight reel. So you get to check out 6 movies that kind of
That make us
kind of our own taste of stuff like that. So it'll be fun.
or to get to know us.
Yeah,
I guess
it's not our be all end all, but it's some of our favorites. With that, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We truly appreciate it. And we will catch you guys on the next episode.
Cheers.
Let's boo boo.